Music is not yours. So stop talking about it like it is. Now, you might click on this video, heard me say that, and wondering, who are you talking to specifically? I'm talking to you, not every single one of you, of course, but the type of people that will listen to a sound, a song, anything, and try to claim it as a copy of something else, something that was stolen from somebody else, or, bit off of, right? A lot of people's main kind of like phrase they like to use, reheating nachos, like you reheated nachos from somebody else's, nachos or something like that, right? Or, the main misused word, plagiarism. Oh my gosh, that one crazy. But yeah, so basically, if you are the type of person to hear a sound in a song or a specific something and make that comparison and say it like it is stolen, then I'm talking to you right here. One thing that I see a rise of on the internet is the constant thing of people listening to music and thinking that the sound, the specific thing that is used in the specific way, is somebody else's, right? And the funny thing is, it's never the artists themselves that say this. The people that make the music, it's never them. Sometimes it is, right? But mostly you'll see the fans, the consumers that'll say stuff like that. Which is even weirder, is because it's especially not yours because you didn't even make the song that was made in the first place for you to be, saying, "Oh, you did this from somebody else." Like, the people that say that aren't even people that had a hand in making the song. So they have no idea where the person that made the song might have got the idea for the specific sound or whatever, which kind of baffles me just in general, because even if something is inspired or, just any slightly similar to another song in a specific way, people talk about it like that's a bad thing. And maybe I'm just too much of a realist, but even the person that you're saying that was copied from, that's not theirs either. That's not theirs. Even the person that they got the idea from is not theirs. Music for years and years and years on has been grown on top of, innovated into many different things and stuff like that. So really, the people that actually owns the stuff, the people that can actually make the claim for, oh, this is mine, this is my sound, or something like that, are the originators, the people that actually made these things. But we don't know those people. Not, well, some people might, there might be a specific thing, right? Might be some specific people, but music as it is now, no modern artist can claim that the sound that they are making is originally theirs. So when it comes to fans or anybody, listeners talking about they took from this, they did this and all that, maybe, but even if they did, it wouldn't be a thing of stealing or kind of taking 100%, because most songs that I hear that are similar, they aren't 100% the same. They might be in the same kind of like genre, might be in the same, just area of sound, and people will still say that they're copying in some type of way, which is so crazy. The people that'll say, it's also the people that'll say, oh, this song, this thing is this person coded, or this person coded, or something like that. Is it really that person coded? Or are they just in the same similar kind of, genre and stuff like that? Of course, you can be like, oh, this reminds me of that person. But a lot of people that I say this is this person coded will be like, oh, that person is reheating nachos from that person, when that's most likely not the case. Like, here's how I think about it. Things like the specific instrument sounds, maybe, keyboard sounds, like, the one in the back, the guitars, stuff like that. All of these had an origin, right? All of these had a specific start, right? The little boom, 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 that beat pattern, something like that had a start. Can you tell me specifically who started making sounds from those things? Can you? If you can't, I do not want to hear, I do not want to see an argument about a copy, a plagiarism, inspired by something, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear it. It's so weird how people have gotten so, I guess, angry about certain sounds being similar when that has been happening for literally so many years. Like, if that couldn't be a thing where people could hear something and kind of make something out of that or make something different out of it, we wouldn't have the modern artists that we do now. We wouldn't have the modern genres that we do now. My favorite genre is R&B. If innovation in music or being inspired by something and making something else couldn't be a thing, then R&B wouldn't be a thing, right? Because R&B didn't start off as R&B. It branched off of another genre of music, and that genre of music branched off of different sounds and different other things. Like stuff like that, we wouldn't have the sounds that we do now, the sounds that we love, the artists that we love now, if that couldn't be a thing. So when people argue about that, it's so weird to me because I'm like, do you not acknowledge that? Do you not see that? Do you not realize that the only reason why you have the sounds, why you're able to say that somebody is reheating nachos from somebody else, why you're able to do that is because of the sounds that we had before, right? If those people all the way back in the day started gatekeeping their stuff, they like, I'm not putting it out. You not copying this. You gonna have to give me something. I mean, they still do that because you have copyright. But if the people, the originators that made these specific things, if the originators of like the major scale or whatever, something like that, if the originators of that said that nobody else could like make any type of thing off of that, nothing would be made. Nothing would be where it is now at all. Absolutely not. Music isn't a thing that you can steal from other people in the modern days because music has already, every single song, every single sound, melody has already been used in a song. And especially now, music is a thing that now everybody can make. You know, I could literally go on my laptop right now and make a song. And it is that easy. You can go on your phone and make a song. It is literally that easy. There is nothing that will ever be yours specifically when it comes to the things that you make, but you make them maybe inspired by something that you thought of in your head. And that thing that you thought of in your head was probably inspired by something that you might have heard in passing or heard in another song, and you put it together. That's how it works, right? Nothing is ever something that you created specifically and it is the only thing that ever exists, because guess what, that same melody, that same chord, that same progression, beat pattern has been used in something else already. There are millions, billions of songs that exist out in the world, and some people might see that as a bad thing. Some people might say that the music industry and the music stuff has gotten too oversaturated, too many people are able to make songs. I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all. I think it's weird to even think that way because music, I feel like it's just become a thing that is a part of life. A part of almost every aspect of life, music exists. It's almost like breathing. It's almost like oxygen around us. It's a part of life that exists. And music has become that. And what's so great about that is there's so many different audiences for that music, for different music. People say that music is too accessible for people to make, so that then people are making bad stuff and thinking that it's good. Well, think about it this way. You might think it's bad, but another person thinks it's good. They have an audience of people that think it's good most of the time. Maybe they have no audience. Maybe they're the only person that thinks it's good. But that's what makes it so great, is because of the fact that you can make anything and there will be an audience for it. You can be the only audience for your stuff, and it'll still technically, in your eyes, in the grand scheme of things, be good, right? Even if everybody else thinks it's bad, the only mind, the only thought, the only opinion that really matters is yours, really. Of course, now it's different if you're trying to get famous, big on stage and stuff like that. But if you truly love music and the sounds that you make, you won't be the type of person to be so conscious about what everybody else is thinking about your sound, right? You won't be so conscious to the point where you're doing that and you're not even putting out the stuff that you really like and stuff like that. That's, really besides the point, but it also relates because it comes down to a point of people thinking that they can kind of gatekeep a sound of music that can be done. That is not a thing that you can ever do, no matter where you are from, no matter what you look like, no matter what type of thing was, that you heard before. This sound, you can't claim it because you didn't make it. You didn't have your hand in the specific thing that made that sound as it is now. You didn't have your hand in it. So stop claiming it. There's so many people claiming a sound, a specific area of sound or song as theirs, right? It's ours. No, it's not. You didn't make it. Them people didn't make it. Everybody living right now most likely did not have a hand in the specific sound that you think that you can claim, right? Or that you think that somebody else can claim. Because again, a lot of these people that are saying this stuff are fans of the music. They aren't the actual makers of the music, right? So it's just like you're claiming for somebody else when they're not even claiming it themselves. That's what separates people that acknowledge what music really is versus people that just listen to music. Can't tell you how many times I've heard a new artist come out with a sound and they be like, "Oh, they're biting off of this person. They're biting off of blah blah blah." That's like the similar type thing. Yeah, it is, but they're not biting off of it because if you're saying that they're biting off of it and it's like a bad thing, then the original person that you're talking about that is apparently being bit off of, where did they get their sound from? Think about that. Do people ever think about that? Do people ever think about where the person that is apparently getting bit off of get their sound from? I don't think they do. I really don't think they do. And it baffles me because I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? For real. And I mean, for this video, I haven't done any specific research. I'm just talking right here. But if I did sit there and do research about where specific sounds and where different things originated from, I would do so and tell you guys. But I don't feel like I need to do that because I feel like anybody has access to be able to find who made specific things as they are and what their ideas were when it came to making those specific things, because if they made those things, they made those sounds, they made that beat pattern, they made whatever they wanted to make or whatever, and with the idea of, oh, this is mine and nobody could ever do anything like this or anything like that, if they made that with that mindset, then I don't think that we would be hearing it today because they would have kept it to themselves. It's out today because they wanted other people to hear it. They might not have thought of people using it in their stuff, but obviously, if anybody's smart enough, they would know that that's inevitable, right? That's inevitable. When you make something, somebody's going to get an idea from it. It happens in music, it happens in movies, it happens in just art, drawing, whatever, stuff like that, paintings. Like it happens in every form of art. When someone sees something, they get inspired by it. I seen a thing that was like, and I forgot what video it was, seen somebody talking about the music industry. And I think they were saying something along the lines of, oh, the consumers, you know, these new people that are making music are just consumers. They aren't the actual artists and blah, 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 and doing all of that. Where do you think you started from, buddy? Because the only, like, I don't know, I forgot who said it, but it's a real question. Anybody that is saying something like that, where do you think you started from? Where the people you're apparently a professional. I'll be completely honest. The people that think they're professionals when it comes to music, you're freaking not. I'm being completely honest. Yes, you might be able to say that you learned this and that, but really music is what we hear it to be, what we like, what our opinion on music is. So if you think there is a specific technique and way to do a specific thing and it's the best way to do it, that's still just your opinion, you know? Because someone might hear you doing it that way and be like, I don't like how that sounds, right? And they're not the professional for saying that, but you're also not a professional because you can't say that they're wrong, because again, that is their opinion. Art is the most opinion saturated just like thing, right? When somebody sees a form of art, it is always opinion. And that's why we have things like let's go use painting for like an analogy, right? You have great paintings that have like specific shapes and things that you could tell what it is, but then you also have abstract art as well. Somebody could do doom 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 with a bunch of different colors on a painting thing, and somebody will say it's a masterpiece. Think about it like that, and thinking about it with music as well. There's nothing that you could claim that you're a professional of when it comes to art, because everybody learns art in the way that they like art, if that makes any sense, right? They learn how to do the art the way they like to do the art. I learned how to play that keyboard the way I like to play that keyboard and the way I like to hear the sounds. It might not be the professional way that people think that it's supposed to be done, but I still make the sounds that I like on that thing. That's why I got it in the first place. I don't make songs to be the most professional person. I don't play songs to be the most professional person to be seen by everybody. I make it because I like it. And I think at some point I had gotten away from that because I was like, okay, I need people to, I need to make the perfect thing so that people can really, really enjoy it. Right. But when you start to think like that, I feel like you get away from the reason that you might have started liking music, the reason that you might have started making music in the first place. The desire to be professional, the desire to be everybody's favorite artist or something like that, it hold you back, I feel like, right? Because in the real world there is no everybody's favorite, and that's just the reality of things. So in the real world, in the real modern world, there is no that's mine, that's yours when it comes to the sounds of music. I can play random chords right now on that keyboard in the back, and it'll be same chords that were used in another song, right? I've probably done it multiple times. Do I know? Have I known? No. But if I put it out, will people probably be like, "Hey, this kind of sounds like this." If the people that know that other specific thing that might sound like that, they're gonna be like, "Hey, this kind of sounds like that," right? But would that mean that I'm plagiarizing? Would that mean that I'm biting off of their stuff? No, it wouldn't. Now, of course, it's a different kind of conversation if somebody takes the exact same beat, sound, everything, melody, top line, harmonies, all that, and puts and just re-records it and puts it in a song. That's a different situation. Obviously, now that's where I kind of draw the line. I'm like, okay, now you're actually like just taking their entire thing. But I don't think that really happens. You feel me? I've never seen that happen at all when it comes to these arguments. When it comes to these arguments, people are always talking about something being in the same genre. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. They're always talking about something being in the same genre. I'm like, what? What? I think it was around um specific sounds where people were doing stuff like the Afro pop or the Afro beats and stuff like that. And people were saying, "Oh, shoot, they reheating Tyler's nachos." Tyler's a great artist. She does great when it comes to the sounds like that and stuff like that. But where the frick do you think she got the sounds from? Is she also reheating nachos from somebody else? Is that what people are saying as well? Is that what you are saying? That's just one example. There's other examples as well. You still got people talking about the New Jeans sound in their stuff. You still got people talking about the Travis Scott, the Cardi sound and all that, and people kind of biting off of their stuff. Where the frick do you think they got their sound? Where the frick do you think they got the stuff like that? They innovated off of something and they made something else, right? So what new artists are doing as well is they're doing the same thing. And that's just how it's been going for years. Guess what? None of these people that have made this new sound have gotten any copyright claims from those specific artists. You know why? Because those artists can't copyright claim their stuff. They can't because it's not the exact sound. It's not anything. It's an innovated sound off of something else. Music is not owned by anybody but the people, the originators, if they wanted to come out of the woodworks just randomly, which most of them, I don't, maybe not even living at this point. So you feel me? If they wanted to come from the dead and start, you feel me? claiming everything is theirs. Honestly, they probably wouldn't even be able to do that either. Because how many of you actually know those originators? If somebody were to say that they time traveled from the past to the future and saw their music and sound being used in a specific way and they wanted to take it back, would you even believe them? Would you even believe them? I know I wouldn't. I would be like, okay, bro, you're chatting. You're chatting. You know how many people that say they time traveled? You're chatting, dude. So if it was real, nobody would believe them. Everybody would be like, okay, I'm still making this song. Like the people that made like the little like scales and stuff like that, they're like, I don't want you using it. I don't want you using that scale. Who are you? Because guess what? You don't know. You don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna do some research after this though. I'm gonna do some research to figure out who it is. The people are, multiple people and stuff like that. Try to figure out the originators of certain genres, especially the genres that I like, R&B, hip hop and stuff like that. Not the people that pioneered and made it popular. I mean the originators, the people that specifically sat down on whatever kind of instrument and started playing and they first made that sound. I'm not talking about the people that made it popular, the artists that we know now as the popular, like, kind of pioneers of the genres. I'm not talking about them. They didn't make it. They didn't make it. I'm not like it's like saying if I made a random R&B song that I'm freaking biting off of like a Usher, you feel me? Just because it's in R&B. Like what? That makes no sense. That makes no sense, bro. It's like saying like Usher is biting off of a Michael Jackson hit or something like that, or you know, people just doing stuff like that. Like that's not something that happens. And I mean, of course, there are people that probably have those conversations, but all those conversations are dead. They're dead. They're a waste of time. You're having dead and waste of time conversations, dude. It's because they're not real enough. A lot of people don't live in the real world, right? They live in this world that is completely kind of away from everything, right? And I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm the only one living in the real world, right? Nobody thinks about this stuff in a real way. Nobody ever thinks about it in the grand scheme of things and how it works in the universe. They never think about it that way, but I always think about it that way. I always, every single situation, when somebody tells me that a specific thing is supposed to be done a specific way, I always think about it like, is it? Or are you just saying that because that was told to you? Are you another sheep? Right? I think of a lot of people as sheep because no one ever thinks about a specific thing as it truly is. Somebody said that a song was similar to another sound and that it's taking from that, it's plagiarism. So that you follow that same idea because you are a sheep. You don't go back and think of, oh, well, where did that originate from? Right? You don't think about that. You don't like go forward with that at all. You're a follower. Somebody that just goes forward with what everybody else is thinking. And of course, I can't be the only person that's thinking this, right? But obviously, you don't see many people like me saying this because of the fact that the people that are saying the other thing are very loud, very wrong people, right? It might be not, not that many people. They're a very loud minority, it's really not that many people if you really think about it in the grand scheme of things in the real world, but you do see it a lot, right? And when you see it a lot, you tend to think, oh, okay, it's a lot of people doing this, right? But I feel like it's really not. I feel like it's really not, but they're just really loud. They're just really loud and wrong, right? That's like the most thing that people are on the internet. Loud and wrong. Loud and wrong. I love to say that. You're just loud and wrong. You feel me? Like, acknowledge that we were all born into this, by the way. Like none of us had a hand in making anything that is now done now or, made anything. We were all born into this. Even your favorite artists, they were born into it. Your favorite artists, unless they're from like, I don't know, the early 1900s, they were born into it, bro. They didn't have no play in the revolution of sound and stuff like that and the way it was nobody. You were born into it, they were born into it. The people before them were probably born into it. all of it. It's a vast ocean of sound that is been recycled, and that's just how music works. Like, stuff has been reordered in different ways, but it's all been used in songs before. Just think about that, right? When you go to listen to the next song that you listen to today, think about it. I can sing a random melody right now. I actually, if you're watching this right now, I'm gonna sing a random melody. I don't know this melody. I'm gonna just sing it. I want you to tell me what songs this melody has been used in, right? Da 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 da. Just I don't know. I sung that randomly. I want you to tell me if you know what song, what sound, what anything that has been used in. Cause I don't know. I just sung it randomly. That's how music works. Literally. That's how music works. Just think about that. When you listen to something else, acknowledge it that has been used before in so many different things. So nobody can ever claim something is theirs. Nobody can ever claim that something is being stolen. Nobody can ever claim that something is being taken, bit off of, reheated. Because guess what? They're burnt at this point. Those nachos are already burnt. Because if you're saying that that person is reheating nachos from that person, then it's been already done many times. Those nachos are burnt. They're done. They're ash at this point. If that's I keep using that because it's everybody's favorite like phrase. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I get it, but it's so stupid because I'm like, are we? You can't use that in modern day music. You can't use that phrase in modern day music. It just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, think about that. Acknowledge it. Go forward, and stop claiming music for other people, please. This video is not going to get to anybody. I'll be completely honest. Maybe some people, but people will continue to do it on the internet. But the people that actually listen to stuff, the people that actually like music and want to acknowledge music as it is, listen to this. Of course, it's not that many people. The people on my channel aren't the type of people, like the audience that I have aren't the type of people that I know of to be like, oh, this is copying somebody else. I haven't seen anybody in the comments say that. So my audience, the people that subscribe to me, y'all are cool. You feel me? Y'all are good. Maybe, I don't know. You might have went on. You feel me? I'm not on Twitter, so you could have this different account on YouTube, but then go on Twitter talking about, oh, they stole this. This is something. I know y'all. I don't know. You feel me? That's how fans work. They're often two faced, right? You act certain way this on this platform, but then act a different way on the other platform, right? But yeah, I don't know, bro. But again, if you are that type of person, I am talking to you in this video, and I do hope that you acknowledge what music actually is. Wake up. All right, so that was just like the main part of my video right there. I just wanted to kind of talk about that because of the fact that I just have these thoughts sometimes when I see certain stuff on the internet. I have thoughts about it. So I was like, you know what? I have all these thoughts. I'm spending so much time in my head thinking about certain things. Why not just say it on the internet? Why not just I have a platform. Why not just talk about it? My platform usually talks about music anyway, right? It talks about how I like music, but I could talk about just music as a whole, just in general, the whole kind of culture around it if I wanted to, right? I have a platform for it. So, yeah, I just wanted to do that. And then also, I wanted to do that to kind of acknowledge the fact that I am now going to stop being so kind of paranoid about my music, the music that I make. So, you guys will hear kind of an archive catalog of the songs that I've written over the years. I've written, I think, over 100 songs at this point, honestly. I'm not going to put them all out, but the songs that are my favorites, the songs that I like for myself, I'm just going to like put them out because I always thought about my music as like, oh, this is something I need to make a huge career out of. But with the music industry and where everything is like now, I don't feel the desire to do that anymore. Of course, I do want to still put my music out, but not in the endeavor to be a famous musician in any capacity. So, yeah, you guys will start, the audience that's on this channel, or maybe if you're new, you guys will hear my music. If you are interested, hit that subscribe button, you feel me? You guys will hear music coming out from me. I'm gonna do like different versions of my music though, like just like kind of play with it a bit. You guys will hear that because again, I'm done trying to get my music to be a thing that's like heard by everybody in the world, and for me to become so big that a label want to pick me up and stuff like that. I'm done with that. I feel like music is not supposed to be that. It's supposed to be a form of expression. I feel like when I make my music and I keep it in a file to never be heard, I'm not really expressing myself as fully as I could, right? So I'm gonna just put it out. You feel me? I'm not doing no promoting, no none of that, no clips and none. I might do like snippets on like the social medias just so that more people could hear it, but I'm not pressed about it. Like even if I post it and I get 0 views on those videos, I'm not pressed about that, right? Eventually somebody will hear it. I don't care, but I just want to put it out, right? So you guys would just hear a bunch of just random things from my music before that'll just be put out. And yeah, I'm gonna just make music and continue to do that, and wherever it goes is wherever it goes, bro. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you are new, hit the subscribe button, like if you enjoyed everything right here. I think I might start doing these videos more as well, the talking. I don't know if I'm gonna start doing them more on this channel or another channel that I was thinking of making. I don't know. But either way, you guys will see stuff more like this if I think about another thing, of course. But yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.